And that's not even talking about the other person. Get it?
Yeah.
And, this is the
Spice.
spice. Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Life.
Oh.
And we're so happy to be back, guys.
I know I'm glad to be back. This is Chris. That's Angela. Angela, how you doing?
You know what? I wasn't feeling too well for the past day, but I'm doing better.
Okay.
Doing a little better.
A little rough patch here and there.
Yes, but you know, things get better. People get better. You get to feeling better.
It's gonna get better.
Just need a little rest.
It happens.
Take a few meds. And there you go.
A few meds. Pop a couple of pills like Tic Tacs, and I feel a little better. Sometimes you're gonna have those little physical and mental pains that you have to go through because we all, gotta grow old gracefully. What?
That's right.
What are we talking about? Oh.
You said it. You said it.
That's what we're talking about, y'all. Growing old gracefully.
Yes, yeah.
What does that mean? What are we talking about here? Well, we're going to discuss it, thoughts, feelings, opinions, things like that. And of course, we always look at some information. And what we're going to, the information we're looking at today is from a actual website. It's a assisted living website. Mm-hmm. And that was one of the questions that was posed. It's called Summercrest is the name of the website. And the person that actually put some great information into one of the posts for summercrest.net was Leah Stocker. She's a director of marketing. She wrote this information, some of what we're going to talk about. Awesome. Director of marketing for Summercrest Senior Living in Newport, New Hampshire. And if you ever want to reach out to them, it's at 603-863-8181. And they can probably help you if you're in that area.
Yeah, yay.
But, Angela, what does that mean, growing old gracefully? What is it?
All right, so.
It says it is a what?
Well, it said it is just sorry. It is a euphemism.
Okay, now that she said that, I'm going to tell you what that euphemism is. So funny you mentioned that. It's funny you mentioned that. This is a $100 word, but it's got like really, nickel meaning. Basically, a euphemism, according to the dictionary, it's just a more mild and indirect way to say something. So, to give you an example, somebody say, hey, we're going to cut some people. Here's a euphemism, which is a nice and softer way to say we're going to be doing some downsides. So when someone says growing old or aging gracefully, it's a euphemism to say, man, you getting old.
Yeah.
Y'all just old and get old. You're getting up there.
Yeah, you're getting up there.
Man, my knees are getting up there.
Yeah, my joints are when it's raining. I can tell you when it's going to rain because I feel it in my bones.
Feel it in my bone joints. So it's a euphemism. And right up under there, it talks about aging gracefully is often used as a euphemism for looking old, but still holding on or showing signs of aging. And then you just move forward in life. So that's what it talks about. And now we can get into for us and for the information in here, what does it mean? What does it mean? You ever thought about that? First of all, are you growing old gracefully out there? How do you even know when you're growing old gracefully? Well, hopefully we're going to get into all that. Yeah. How, the why, what does it mean? Where does it start?
Yeah.
And get a good idea because there's probably no exact science to it, right? So.
Yep. So basically what it says, what does it mean? Graceful description. Graceful describes a movement. When you're saying someone's moving gracefully, they're moving like,
so the
kind of got a smooth movement, but it says.
So the gracefully would be like if you're moving through time.
Yeah. So it said grace means to give beauty, elegance, or charm to. It is seemingly effortless beauty or charm of movement.
It was one of the questions that the writer wrote, director Miss Leah wrote, said, do you know anyone who moves through life every moment with grace?
No, not every moment.
Her response is, I don't. Sometimes we have to fight to get what we want.
Yeah,
But if we can move or we can live more graceful moments and fewer fighting moments, it's likely that our time on earth will be full of kindness.
that's true. That's true. That is so true.
So I think typically you would want to, your normal person, some people have some challenges
Hmm.
in life, but your average person want to move through life and go through things with grace, and which is to me a form of peace.
Yeah, that's why I was going to say the first word that came to my brain was peace, being more at peace or claiming your peace. Like
Mm,
sometimes what you got
I
to
like that.
do is create a life where no one is disturbing the peace. You got to rein that peace in so that you won't have so much on you. But just right, every moment is not going to be that way, but you can control it. You can control it. So yeah, I thought about that too. Graceful, peaceful. That goes
There's
hand
some
in
people
hand.
that don't always like life like that, and I think about it.
Yeah,
So,
because if you think about peace, peace means quiet as well.
oh,
And some people don't want, oh, it's too quiet,
or calm,
or it's too calm. I don't want all this calmness.
or it's just some people that just spend a large. I don't know if they're happy this way or they just built this way where they just spend a large chunk of their time being angry.
Or it could be the way that you were raised or your
Well, that could
environment,
be
or
part of the
maybe,
anger part, I guess. Yeah.
yeah.
Um.
Then too,
So when does it start? It says it starts. What was you gonna say?
I was gonna say then too, it does depend on who you live with or you have living with you. So yeah. But anyway.
Look, this is funny. It says it is it. It could be 40 or 50 or 60 or 7, but they said, well, I like to think it's somewhere around 18.
Yeah, because if you think about it, when you talk about aging gracefully, when you turn 18, you're like, okay, I'm an adult. I'm grown now. Do you look like an adult? You start thinking about grown,
I,
old, it's like,
I didn't.
I did. For some reason,
I think with
I
guys,
did.
most guys, I'm sure some guys do, or maybe half, but I just the age thing probably didn't start clicking into me till I got to my 30s. Like when
Well,
I got like around 30ish, I was like, man, wait a
yeah.
minute, I gotta be more careful.
I'm wondering for females if it's different.
That's
Maybe
what I'm
for
thinking.
females it's different.
Maturity and
Yeah.
and all those things with the some of the instincts that kick in as a
Hmm.
mother or as a just some of the different chemical makeups.
Yeah, because when I was 18, I graduated from high school. I was thinking of my next steps. I already had my car. My next step was getting a place uh, for me to live, and thinking about the next step, the family. So, yeah, was thinking about that early. But in this day and time, okay, we living in a different time. Young ones, a 18-year-old is not thinking about that. In fact, study is showing that most 18-year-olds or kids that graduate from school, they're at home. They're not trying to move. They're not trying to grow up fast. And plus, with the way the economy is, it's hard for them to do that anyway without a really good job. But yeah, all
Well,
right.
and then what it consists of? Somebody may say, well, exercising and eating right, that could be part of growing old
Mm-hmm.
gracefully, but it's people that could start that at a very early age too, even before 18. And just, there are people that I know, I got a relative that was a vegetarian before they were even 18.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So it people may say it consists of certain. I think it's more of adjustments you make.
Yeah, and when you're talking about aging gracefully, you are going to inculcate a really good life. What do you call it? There is a gnat around here.
Hey,
I'm going to say it. This gnat is getting on my nerves. It just landed on my nose and then it left. So, all right. But anyway, back to subject. Um, when you're talking about aging gracefully, normally when I see someone and I say, oh, this person, or I'm thinking in my head, they're aging gracefully, they are going to look really healthy. They're not going to look their age. They're going to look younger. They're going to be happy and glowing, just having fun. Even if I don't know, or if age wasn't like a thing, especially for someone that's older and they're just enjoying life, I'm gonna automatically say, "Oh, this person's aging gracefully. They're having fun with life." And when you're talking about that, you're talking about the health. The health is good. You're talking about a lot of them are exercising. They're out there walking. They're out there socializing. So there are a lot of components into, like you was mentioning. What does it consist of? You mentioned someone that a vegetarian. Sometimes a diet changes
Yeah, so
is
I don't
considered.
know if it's something you're already doing. I think it's more of when you start to make adjustments. So let's say, for instance, the person was maybe a heavy drinker, they may slow down or stop.
Yeah.
Or if they were smoked, maybe they change that. So that could be part of growing old gracefully,
Mm-hmm.
being more natural with their looks.
Yeah. Oh
Accepting
yeah.
that they may be more comfortable with not wearing as much makeup or wearing more or whatever. Just adjustments to 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 embrace who they are, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. I think that's growing on gracefully, and not being bitter about it, not being angry or bitter,
Mm-hmm.
and just giving a more peaceful energy around themselves, or vibe with other people. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
they more at peace of mind. And one thing that I was thinking about too is um one of the sayings is, "Oh, they got good genes." It's like,
So it
okay.
actually was.
Like they consider it part of your genetics. Um but also too, when you mention one of the things that I know, well, I would say this. When I when a person loses weight, sometimes that makes them, some of the pictures that I see on social media of a person, side by side, before and after, of someone that is older, or someone that's around, I would say in their 30s, 40s, or 20s. I actually saw this one time to where when they had a picture side by side of their before shot and then their after shot. Their after shot of them when they lost the weight looks younger than than the before shot. So I actually think, from what I see from those photos, even including my photos that I have of before and after weight loss, you look younger. So yeah, I think weight gain sometimes when you, and then for some people too, I actually saw where some people look older because of how their face, I guess maybe how the face look afterwards. Maybe, I guess, depends on how much weight you lose. If you lose too much, it might go in the other direction. But hey, it depends on the person. But yeah.
Yeah. So we can look at the tips. What do they say
All
about the
right.
tips there?
All right. The number one first tip says accept the change. That is aging. It is inevitable. So nothing can stop the aging. So I guess the only thing that you can do is the only thing you can do, because even with the passing second, you're getting older right now. Me and Christopher and you guys, y'all getting older right now. With every second that's ticking. All
Yeah. So
right,
I go ahead.
go ahead. I'm done.
Yeah. So I would agree with that. I think that's part of growing old gracefully, in my opinion, because these are tips. These are things that's telling you in their opinion, and so this is what I think that's good. So two talks about prepare for life with a sense of humor. So I think having a good sense of humor is important, but keeping that as you grow older and wiser, hopefully,
Yeah,
is important. And I think that's part of another thing of growing on. I would agree with that one also, growing old
yeah.
gracefully,
I think it
because
would.
it. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for even interrupting you, but I was going to say, when with the humor, even though we know we're getting older, um, when you include the humor, it lessens the reality, and it just puts things in perspective. Um, no, my mom. My mom's like, well, how old are you? And I tell her how old I am. She said, yeah, you getting up there.
Uh-oh.
So you talking
Trying to
about we
put you
getting
with
up
her.
there. I was like, well, I say you up there. You already up there.
Then we're already
We
where
go
I'm
back and
supposed to be
forth
trying
like
to go.
that. But I like having the little humor. We are getting up there. All our kids are older, and some of us are grandparents, but that's part of life. So why not,
Yeah, and
bring
I
in the
think
human?
the sense of humor is it's a difference between a sense of humor and trying to enjoy life and deal with things that's going to happen with you in your life. You're going to lose people. You're going to have physical, mental challenges. You're going to have issues with people that's
Mm-hmm.
very close with you where things get tough as you get older and all that. So it's better to have a sense of humor or that lighter side about it versus having, which people may confuse with being cynical. And a cynical person just saying this, it may seem like it's funny, but it's just harsh.
Yeah.
And they are so you can see the bitterness, even though they're saying things that
Mm-hmm.
seem cynical.
Oh yeah.
That's different from having humor. We're saying, well, it is what it is. Hope I'm, I'm not. Hope I'm not too frat. If the doctors, let's say the doctor say, oh man, you have a crack in your bone, Chris, and
Yeah.
I maybe if I can say something lighter like, good thing I'm not Humpty Dumpty or something like that. That's different from saying, well, I'm probably just going to break into dust soon.
Yeah.
Something real like
Yeah.
more darker.
Yeah, that
Dark
is
humor
dark.
is a
Oh
little
yeah.
different. So, yeah, but humor is good with balance because, like it says here, if you don't laugh, the other option is to cry. So that's number two.
Yeah. Number 3, it says make sound decisions. It says now and ask for forgiveness for those not so sensible decisions made in the past. Now, yeah, I think as we get older, you're able to do that more and
Yeah,
better with
yeah.
more of a clear and thoughtful way. You're able to do that.
That comes with the wisdom, I hope.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, it does. Because you're realizing as you get through life, why why not forgive you for those decisions that you wish you didn't make? I mean, it's done. You've made it, so move on.
yeah.
So.
There you go. Um, Number four is be authentic, and what that means is just be yourself, be real. Some people probably already like that. I like to think I am.
Yeah.
I'm not perfect, but I try to be real and be myself. If I can't be myself around people, I tend to kind of fade back. Or if it's some people that's like that, sometimes that are very, very judgmental, then um, I may uh, excuse myself from that area. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's an important part of maintaining that as you get older.
Yeah, I
I
think
agree
you
with that.
you you do good at that too. I totally agree. Better than me.
Tim, we do.
I am myself, but sometimes I'm like everybody don't see the real me.
Yeah, that comes back to what you said about like how people grew up
Yes.
too. So
Yes.
some things are in the DNA, as it were, but some things are a big portion of how you grew up. So yeah.
Hmm.
All right, number
Okay, number
five.
5, it says do things that make you happy. Be selfish sometimes. So yeah, I think we're doing more of that too, Chris, as we gotten older, doing things to make us happy. Being spontaneous is one key.
I've always been a big believer in that.
Yes, spontaneous, being spontaneous.
Yes,
Um
as long as you don't combust. That's the one spontaneous. Just using the humor,
Good you go.
dad jokes, I guess.
Number 6, Christopher.
It said something about you can do BR. I was just reading about that. All right, so choose your attitude. Um, it says I learned. This is from the writer. Say I learned that in the past job, I still think of this every morning. Only I have the ability to make my day great. That's true. Now I'm a big believer in that now. When somebody's going around moping on and on and on, at some point you got like, okay, they're making a choice to be this way. Sometimes things can catch us off guard and
Mm-hmm.
whatever, but for the most part, on an average day, she's saying choose your attitude, grow
Yeah.
gracefully, be cool, don't make yourself miserable. If you're miserable, that's your choice, and there you go. So I so far I agree with all these, but I don't know what's number seven.
Number 7 says have a core purpose. What is your fundamental reason for being? So what is engraved in your heart and in your mind? So I want to touch and improve lives. I want to make people feel good and special. And if you think about that gratitude, when you are have gratitude, and if you're a given person, it comes back to you in a positive way. So yes, and it makes you happy. That's the thing, that good feeling that you have when you're helping others.
And then number 8 talks about forgive yourself and others. And this is the thoughts of of the writer here. It's, I can't even express how this simple statement has saved me a whole lot of unnecessary stress. I'm sure you have all heard that forgiveness doesn't mean that you deny the other person's responsibility for hurting you. It doesn't minimize or justify the wrong. Forgiveness is the intentional and voluntary process by which a victim undergoes a change in feelings and attitude regarding an offense. The victim lets go of their own negative emotions, and we all know how detrimental negativity can be.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to forgive allows us to heal. Then, when I think of this, I always think of my sister. We get into some crazy fights, even at this stage in our lives, and we both think we are blameless and are both stubborn. So, as you can imagine, blameless and stubbornness are a recipe for disaster when it comes to relationships. But when I learned to forgive her, and when she learned to forgive me, it was not as though we had to give into one another, but it's just, did you allow us to put aside our self-righteousness in order to heal our relationships? The relief this act of forgiveness provides is like having the weight of the world lifted off your shoulders. I absolutely agree with that one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
That's
Yep.
that's I like the term the weight of the weight lift off, because when you do forgive, when you have a forgiving heart, it is a lift off, a weight lift off. You're not carrying those negative emotions around with you. You are at peace not only with yourself but with anybody that everybody. You don't have that extra the think extra negativity on you. So
Yeah, I agree with it too. Because as you get older, you should have more wisdom to realize that forgiving somebody or people forgiving each other and letting things go, it's not a matter of who's right or wrong. That's not. It's no sign of weakness or anything. Actually, it's actually a sign of strength to be able to do that. It takes a really dynamic person to have the ability to do that. So I totally agree with that. Something I definitely want to continue to be better at.
exactly, sign of maturity, aging gracefully, maturing. All right. Number 9 says, give love and receive love. And
Just thought
the
about it. You
author
made your own sound
says,
effects.
it sounds easy, right? I was always able to give love, but to receive it made me feel selfish and insecure in my ability
Insecure.
to defend and protect myself. I needed it, but I didn't think that I needed it. My husband recognized that I needed it, and it was always a conflict between us. I finally chose to listen to him. Otherwise, these conflicts were going to get the best of us. So I went to therapy, and I finally realized that I was missing something, that there was an empty place in me. I used this therapy to learn how to receive and accept love. And it took a while, but now I know how to receive love. I feel stronger than ever. I now truly feel unbreakable. Sometimes you need therapy. So, when you talk about giving and receiving love, that's two things that has to go on. You got to do both. You got to give and you got to receive it.
Got to find a little tenderness. Oh yeah. All right. So the goal. This is what I like that
Mm-hmm.
Leah Stalker said. It says the goal or the overall synopsis of it and their final thoughts. It says the goal is to live while we're living, to be full of
Mm-hmm.
joy, laughter, and forgiveness. The goal is to love and be loved and to make a difference to someone. And again, all of those are very good thoughts. I think that's a good way to wrap up those thoughts or those tips.
Yes, it is. And I want to bring something out in regards to us as far as Christopher and I aging gracefully. So we are, of course, Generation X. So you know what years that is as far as when we was born. So we do have a grandchild. We do have grown kids. But
Hmm.
one of the things I'm going to say that I do enjoy is well, I can't say we got empty nest, but the empty nest feeling or the empty nest relationship, just us that we can go and pick up and go without having to trying
Right.
to figure out, okay, the kids going with us or how are we going to do this, without having the duties of, or responsibilities of taking care of smaller kids. My kids were younger. I love to be able to pick up and go, do date nights, go on, what they call them, vacation, staycation, vacations, whatever.
Playcation.
Yeah, we feel a little bit more freedom. So as you're getting older, if especially with your marriage mate, you're able to do that, but do a lot of that, do a lot of that because that's part of aging gracefully as well. We make decisions together.
Yeah.
If I'm down,
Most
he
of the
builds
time.
me up. If he's down, I build him up.
When I was down, you
So,
would always build me up.
and that's part of aging gracefully as well,
Yeah.
and playing with our little granddaughter. We have fun playing with her, but we can always give her back to the parents,
I always
That's the
thought I was
thing
young,
about,
so I think
hey.
I'm just starting to realize I'm supposed to be growing old gracefully. Just hit me, I guess. Found that out. Found that out today. I was today years old.
But one thing about Christopher, he does not have one gray hair
And I
on
don't
his head.
use the product. I was gonna say, but I
No,
don't want to give them no shout outs or nothing. But I don't
he
use
does not
any
have a
products
gray
like that.
hair on his head. But I think that's interesting. And
I
Christopher,
block
I don't know if
stress
you
like
want to.
this.
I
Boom,
don't
boom,
know if
boom,
you want to tell
boom.
them how
And it's
old you
because
are,
of
but
the spice.
he's trying. How old are you, Chris?
Life.
Christopher, how old are
Yes.
you?
This is the end of the show. We don't
Well,
have time for that. It's a long story, y'all.
maybe one day he'll say, but I'm telling you guys, he don't have one gray hair in his head. I have a ton of gray hairs, but you're not gonna be upset because I got my hair.
Some people say white,
big.
some people say gray. But I don't have neither one. Not on the
Well,
front.
well, just think of that as a blessing.
But I don't have a lot of hair either. It's starting to like jump off. I'm like, hey.
Aging gracefully, guys.
All right, this has been another one.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us at the Spice.
Spice.
Oh,
Oh.
nice. See y'all later. Like, subscribe,
Bye.
click, move, do all that. Click the link and all that stuff.
Bye bye.